Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Space Engineers No Jetpack Survival. I am Cy Prime. Welcome to all the engineers, apprentices, bystanders, followers and whatever else you may be. We are building a large ship at the moment. For those of you that caught the last few episodes, you've already got the gist, you know what we're doing. For those of you who are new, welcome. This is going to be a very large ship. And I have to say this because we're getting quite a lot of comments now regarding suggestions, ideas and stuff for building the ship, and I really do appreciate every comment that comes in. However, a little bit of context might be necessary in order to keep these comments kind of constructive, on track. This is not the final size of the ship. It's nowhere near the final size of this ship. So I was expending a lot of space to do things like big hangar doors for just a connector, and a big space here just for a little lift or elevator or whatever you want to call it. This makes sense in the long run because this ship is going to go from, well, the front of it will be somewhere over here, possibly a bit further, and we might have to limit to over here just because of the space we've got. And the back of the ship, we're getting a little bit of jitters. Apologise for this, I'll try and deal with them as best I can. The back of the ship is going to be, well, this is like probably not far enough. We may have to extend this quite a way over that way. So actually I think probably we're going to do that first. Right, that should do it, barring a little bit of cleanup here. So first thing we're looking out for is any obvious holes. If I can fall down, because we did get a little bit scrappy with some of this. I think I got them all right. So generally speaking, it's a different color, but hey, it's fine. Generally speaking, that's going to be the size of this ship, generally the size of this platform. So this little spot here is really nothing. It's a little bit of like frivolous expense just to get this ship functional and enterable from my point of view, where I've got no jetpack. So keeping this sort of area airtight really will help in the longer term. We're going to have to sort of deal with this line here because this is terrible. I wonder if we can reach that to remove it. Unfortunately not, so I'm going to have to sort of scaffold my way up a little bit. I think if we have just a little ramp across here temporarily. So yeah, we're doing a bit of cleanup today. Yeah, these are fairly safe to remove.
Inventory full.
Yeah, of course. If you're grinding stuff down, you need to put things back first. It just makes sense, really. So I'm gonna have to put some of this back in before I do all of it, because otherwise it's gonna start like falling apart on me. So here, like, we've got this kind of shape going on there, and it's not really necessary yet. Not in the context of here, but maybe we're going to keep it. So here, what I think I want is possibly the same thing the other way around, just so we can start bringing this out for the rest of the ship, and we've got some interesting shapes going on. Maybe not. Probably not. This is definitely going to be like the underbelly side of the ship though, so whatever we put here, I think if I get rid of that, I think we should be safe, because it's connected by that. Likewise, that there is connected by that. So I think at this point here we could probably actually go full blocks. If we go full blocks here, then we don't really have to worry too much about trying to blend all this in. So if I put these here, we can do some blending at a later time, but I need to put like one full block in there just to hold that piece of the wall up. That was fine, right. So again, 4 blocks. For now, we keep the shape simple. It's just going to make things a lot easier when it comes to blending later on. Right, let's get rid of these. And go to the other side. And get us the same thing. From about here, I suppose. Little stray there. This whole episode is not going to be just about all this. It's going to be so much more. Just because I haven't decided what it's going to be yet doesn't mean I haven't got ideas. Right. Just yeah. Okay, let's weld up what I can. Now, I could save some weight by using interior blocks in a lot of places, and we will eventually. But at this point in the game, I mean, we're dealing with a pretty core component of the ship. Kind of want some strength to it. I mean, we are eventually going to be putting some heavy armor in. It's not going to be a heavy armor ship, but it will have some heavy armor in for the sake of, you know, just protecting certain key areas. So it's going to be heavy. Probably in a few million, like 4 or 5 million kilograms maybe. But yeah, we may make some changes to certain areas of the ship as and when. Like, one person pointed out something that I was going to deal with in a different way to what they suggested, but they had a really good point. I'm not naming names when I name comments. I mean, I don't want to be that kind of guy, and also I really don't want to have to keep those comments all open the whole time while I'm working. So yeah, they suggested that with some of the interior work, things need to make more sense. And I couldn't agree more. However, like, in my long-term plan, these things will make some sense. Eventually. I just tend to work from, like, the big, broad, functional details first and then figure out the little stuff after. And I think they were referring primarily to things like that and that. Now, obviously, they are in spots where you would not be able to actually, as a human being, get to them in case they're needed without a jetpack, and this is a no jetpack build. So, a little prematurely, I'm going to add one of the things that I was going to add sooner or later. Now, the question is where to actually place it. Let's see. We're going to cut a hole in there at some point, so we're going to figure that one out in a bit. And I think we'll put a little door in there. Don't really want that one. Kind of want an one-sided open, maybe? The idea is have a certain amount of catwalking around the base so that you can get to areas where it would make sense for you to do so. Do we have one of these with just a small half bit on the end, but still open on one side? I believe we do not. Oh, that's disappointing. Oh well. Okay, it's gonna have to be one of them. Right, so need parts for this. Right, let's get a few of these. Right, so you go there. Now, obviously we can't place a block next to it, but if I take a half railing and flip it round, it will go in there. Just a little bit of a step, but it works quite well. And in that spot, on the underside, we can sort of just double up our... let's see, which way did I put that? That way, yeah, that lines up nicely. Just so it doesn't look so weird on the flush side there. And it also will help with keeping things connected as well. So... can I get to the top one? Yeah. Right, so that's the start of that little bit. The little one will keep that one on when I cut that hole in the wall there. So that'll give access to parts of that. Now, I believe we are going to come a little unstuck when it comes to... oh, no, we're not. As long as we stay on the bottom, I think we should be absolutely fine to carry on with some of these. Okay. Railings going to be an issue, but we'll figure those out shortly. Again, you know, we reserve the right to be able to actually adjust the positioning of some of these blocks if we need to. Actually, that half doesn't make sense because I can go full but upside down. I mean, there's nothing wrong with using upside down catwalks. I think these things work quite well. But then it's just as long as you remember to sort of flip them over when you need to. Now, here we are going to have a problem because that's taking up that space there. So at this point, I feel like that might be a bit of a problem unless we find another way up there. Or we remove that one. Maybe this one needs to go. I think that one there does need to go. I mean, these are little minor adjustments that need to be made when you really think about it. So yes, thank you for pointing out the error of my ways. However, yeah, the intent was to be able to catwalk through all of this eventually. Unfortunately, a couple of the blocks are not going to be accessible, so we're going to have to sort of make some adjustments there. Right, that's fine. So that means we don't need that or that. So we can do catwalk to there. Catwalk accessibility will have to be from somewhere else. We will figure that out sooner or later. But because we don't have stuff sticking out there... Siri, you're not supposed to be listening to me while I'm recording. Sorry, my phone decided it was I was talking to it for some reason. Let's see. Right, we're going to have to come up here.
Energy low.
After we do our energy. Okay. So here, well, that block's there and it sort of takes up most of this space. But we've got this block here which takes up the adjacent space. So this block here might also have to go. Or we pull the catwalks out and bring them to... yes. That would make actually much more sense. Apologies, we are making another adjustment. These are staying. I'm fine with them. They must stay. We're going to go normal graded catwalk. Correct way up there. No, we don't. Maybe we do. Catwalk's always been a bit of a pain in the neck sometimes. We'll figure out the top one in a minute, but this side is going to have to be Why don't they ever stay the way around you put them? It's going to have to be like that. Right, that's fine. So, oh, they're the wrong actually. Those two are completely the wrong block. Right. Catwalks. Who'd have them? Right, that goes there. That should be fine. This one here needs to be a double railing because I don't particularly want total access to that bit there so much. I don't want people like just falling off, so I think actually it could be something like that potentially, but then we can't carry on further out to another part of the ship, so that's a no. I think we just do it as a pass by like that. Yeah, and then we can go to the lighter weight slim catwalks for the rest of it. These don't look too bad from the underside. And it kind of makes this bit stand out just a little bit more. Right. Nothing's going on. Good. Right. Now this bit here, well because this block here actually takes up that entire space, we can't really put a railing on there, so yeah, that might just have to be left open, possibly. It's a bit annoying unless we change this block out for something else and just leave that open. I'm not sure. Or we take this block out. Yeah, I did like that. Oh, oh well, okay. Well, these blocks can fall where they fall. They're going to get in the way a bit anyway. Let's get rid of some inventory. No damage done.
Inventory.
Ah, typical. Right, okay. So we need a new block to go in there. Yeah, I wasn't 100% certain about it. I kind of ummed and ahed about what to do with this space for a while and kind of wanted to do something cool, but I'm not 100% happy with what we actually ended up doing there. We could do something like that. We could do another one of them, but we've already got one. Aha, there's an end cap one. That would actually work quite well, because it doesn't look like it goes anywhere, but it stops in the right place. It's going dark. We can put our lights on, just to make sure everybody can still see. Boing. Right, so now that ends there. That's a bit neater. This is not a problem here. Which means that opens up this space here. Kind of defeats the whole point of me building this bit, but I kind of want that there anyway. But it means that here I can actually put, if I get the right thing, some sort of an enclosed bit that makes it look like it makes some sense. We're gonna have to put some sort of a ladder up there at some point. Or stairs or something. Right, that looks accessible to all of that for repair. Yeah, I do like to have every area of the ship repairable, and that's part of the reason for this, to access this for repair if need be. Because this is all of this is just decoration. This is the important part. That conveyor line there. Right, Now this is going to go carry on straight, so I might need to just get a few more of these parts just so we've got enough to carry on with this. That banging is so annoying. Right, while I'm here, we're going to take out this one of these blocks here somewhere. Probably, probably this one. Yeah, we'll deal with that in a bit. Right. I want small, that one. Yes. Yes, that'll do. So now we convert into a single which can carry on without taking up tons of resources and weight. We could have done it a lot earlier, but I kind of like this whole scaffolding bit. It sort of hides this piping, but keeps it visible at the same time. If we use a bit of lighting, we can be quite creative with that. Here, now we can go past this piston without causing too much trouble, because up to about there, actually wait, is it? Let's check. Yeah, up to about this line here, there's nothing moving. So we can go past it without any problems. We just don't want to get too close. I know you can make pistons and blocks all slide perfectly past each other and neatly, but that does actually cause phantom forces, especially when you're not anchored to the ground. So any of this sort of thing rubbing while we're actually in flight could cause the ship to make some unusual movements that we really don't want. So here I'm going to put a door. It's got to be a door because it's got to remain reasonably airtight. So we are going to go with... that a normal block? Yeah.
Inventory full.
Oh, I might need to put some stuff back. No, what I'm just going to do for now... That takes up a lot of space, so... And so do those for a minute. Just put them there for now. That's the whole point of the whole ability to drop stuff. 3, right, okay. Now, if I seem a bit skittish, it's only because it's been a bloody long week. Right, let's... I got that in my build planner? I've got too much in my build planner, in fact. There we go. Now this is what I was talking about last time. How we can do that. So have like a 2-part door that slides into the ground without actually causing trouble. And it doesn't look too bad underneath either. So that's fine, but on the outside here we're going to need some sort of a door to just turn it into a kind of airlock so that we don't end up depressurizing this whole area unexpectedly, because until we've sort of sealed off the lift, there's no way to be 100% certain that it's right. Which way up does this go? There's a label on here somewhere. Yeah, that's right. Right. I've not tested this combination of doors together for air tightness, but it's new. They're both new. I'm hoping they work fine. Right, so that... Oh, great. That doesn't work. Right. Okay, so that combination is no good. No bueno. We're going to need something else instead, so we're just going to just shuffle a bunch of stuff so I can take what's there. A different type of door then, because you can't actually get out of those because... yeah, it just does not work. I think it's just to do with the fact that... Let's just try this one more time. I just want to make sure. That was open. Oh, now it works. But it's not reliable. Okay. Don't do what I just did. Those doors really can't go in front of any other kind of door. Especially if it's got a curved edge or anywhere on it. It just doesn't work. So it's going to have to be another offset door like that. I do wish they didn't have numbers all over them though. Right, but that kind of makes... no. I'm not keen on that idea. No, we're going to have to actually put some stuff back this time. Why am I... oh, that's because of railing there. Right. We're going to turn this one around. I'll explain in a second. Some of you may have just realised already what I'm trying to do here. We're putting that this way around because if we put a door on the outside of here and it's not a really, really flat door, you can't get to the handle. Even though it doesn't work, doesn't do anything, it's got to look like it should. It's no good if that's kind of in a cubby behind a little door thing that you can't properly get to. So that's flush. That's a little bit better. I'm not keen on the idea of just falling down there, but we may have to. I'm going to see if I can actually... no, wait a minute. I might be able to do something here. Yeah, we need steel plate for sure. So, this build's going to be quite a lot of this sort of back and forth and up and down and sort of taking risks and trying to get to places because... well, actually, no, that doesn't work anymore, does it? This one. It's that one. You can't have that little thing without this. So we're going to have to sort of have that. Oh well, just says what it is. Right. So... yeah, we're going to have to sort of figure things out because as we branch out, we're going to get to areas of the ship that aren't finished enough to actually be in. And then you're going to have to figure it out. That block doesn't look right. That block on the corner there. No, it will because that's a door block. Or a corridor block or something. That's a... what kind of block is that? Yeah, it's a corridor block. So that's not matching that, which is why there's a little frame around it. Okay. That's a bit of rambling. We're going to do the sliding hatch door thing, but we're going to do it on the other side. That way around. That should... not... well, maybe it will actually. No, because that corner's cut out. So it shouldn't get in the way of this piston. At all. They're not physically touching in any way. Remember my energy while I'm here. Yeah, so as I was saying, badly, as we branch out to the ship, we're going to hit areas of the ship that are not habitable yet, which means that we're going to have to figure out ways to sort of move around and build in these areas without wasting space. So bear in mind, like, this door is not meant to be accessed down to there. It's meant to be passage access past this area. So here, for example, we would want somewhere around here anyway. We would want to have some sort of a catwalk. Probably one of those, but we need construction components to build it. So I only need to put like one down. For a minute. Oh, I don't need to jump to get up there. I do need to jump to get up there though. Right, so hopefully should be able to just place that there. And again, this it does come a little close. But it should be okay. Nothing twitched. If you build something next to a moving part and the moving thing twitches as soon as you place it, then you got trouble. I'm just keeping an eye on this for a second. There's no sparks. Did that move? It's probably alright. Okay, let's close that door. Close this door. And we'll come down for now. So that solves the problem of how do you get to that, which you can no longer see. Yeah, I might have to read it now. I'm going to redesign some of that because now that I'm down on the ground, I can't really get behind what I've just done. Okay. Yeah, that's silly. That's silly. That's quite silly. Which kind of makes some of these silly, but I can put actual railings in on these and have them a different colour. Okay. Because these are you can't put railings on that one actually. No, they're upside down. That's good because they're upside down. I can put railings on top. 5 railings. Ta-da! But I don't want that one. I want that one. Yes. That's good. So now they look like they belong, and this is a bit more of a wide open space. And just because I can while I'm here, and I don't really want to be getting too into painting, but yes. That's the idea. So you can have a different colour floor and railings this way. This part I can't do that on, but I can maybe do something like that. We could always repaint it afterwards. This bit's a problem because that's airtight in that, so I can't really go any further. So maybe this has to be the end of the line on this catwalk. Kind of want to go a little bit further though. Oh, do we actually have to go out? We might have to come back to this in a bit. Still can't see the thing, but you can actually if we turn our lights off and have lights in there. So that still makes some sense. That should be fine. We'll figure this bit out later. Might have to put like a little passage in there or something. Actually, a passage block there would be quite good. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's get some more of the ship done, because until I've actually got more of the ship done, I don't really know where that catwalk's supposed to go. But all I know is at least one side of this needs to be repairable. The other side also, but we'll find a way of catwalking this side eventually. This is why I don't really do these right at the beginning of this time, because like catwalking kind of needs to be one of the later things that you do. You can adjust parts of the ship as you go, but you need to know where you need to catwalk from and to. At the moment we've only got a to, not a from, or vice versa. Okay, enough waffling. We need a room with batteries in, and I think that should be towards engineering, which should be logically at the back of the ship. So in this space here, which doesn't exist yet, but we're going to start putting some blocks down. From, oh god, that hurt a bit more than I wanted it to. Wonderful. Right. I know that shape is like, doesn't match this, but I kind of want to come back out like we're doing there. So this can be like an individual shape within the ship, and we can tie it all together later. So this room here is going to need to be, well, at least a handful of blocks size, because we're going to need to put batteries in and have room to move around them. Walls can go on the outside of this. We're not going to actually place them in line with this. This is the floor. Got loads of room for engine compartment and stuff. I feel like these blocks need to tie in a bit better. So I need to try and find some kind of a block that fits in there a little bit better than this one. No. Come on, just a normal block with the corner off. Does that fit? Not quite. Don't think any of these are going to fit. I am absolutely terrible at getting blocks to fit where I want. Ah! He says as he finds the block he wants. Right. And I think this one I'm going to need the opposite end, so it would be that one. I've just got to find out how to put it in. There it is. Cool. So that ties that shape in nicely, despite the fact that that's not tied in quite so nicely, but we could always do some work on that later. No baddies there yet. Right, I think we've got enough floor to deal with here. Right. Let's just go up and deal with it. I jumped down, so I need to call an elevator. Retract. No, wrong one.
Meteor storm inbound.
Extend. No. No. Oh. Did something get hit? That was already sparking, I think. Drill still attached and turning. Okay. Not too big a problem. Right, so we accidentally did the wrong thing. Disconnected the ship from the base and also don't have a visible control panel. Which was kind of intended because we don't want these key areas to be accessible too easily from outside the ship unless we want to. Intruders and all that. But it also means now I'm going to have to be a little more creative about how I get back in the ship. But we can still weld these up for now. Right, we're not under any circumstances to cut that. Because if we do, we disconnect the ship from the base. And that's bad. Because once you actually only have a connection via a connector, and it's no longer the same grid, Build Planet gets wonky. Does not want to pull resources properly across two grids. Which is why we keep our ship connected physically to the base. What have I got in my inventory that I don't need right now? Bunch of them. Bunch of them. Bunch of them. Right. We're starting to get a bit more shape. Right, now I need to get up there, so actually we're still physically connected. This also helps me figure out the timing of these things. That's not so bad, actually. If that was much faster, it'd go smacking into that. Yeah, all works totally automatically, that. Right, I need to call the elevator, and the only way to do that is big ship elevator piston. It's there. Velocity is set to minus 0.8. on. If I reverse it, it should just come down. Nice. But it jerked a little bit, which is why it closed itself. Okay, back up. So coming up here, we can take the time to check what we're seeing as we come in. Okay, this is alright. I could use this space here to put some sort of like a screen on and give ourselves a nice little welcome. Not 100% certain about that yet. Now, over here, now as you see, we've got a couple of connection points over there, so we can bring some sort of inventory over here if we want to. We also have our space there to bring a catwalk in if we need higher access to anything, which is good, or if we want to give higher access to anything. We're going to, from here, need to put some sort of a battery area in here. We're going to do it early so that it can start charging up, but I probably want to also allow space to maybe branch out to a side to the ship, because that's something else we're going to need to do. We also need to consider as well that this is the lowest deck of the ship. We're going to want to put another deck in above that. Maybe we could even subdivide this into a third deck. So this actually, this little access point here could actually go out to a whole deck just above this. That's like 2 blocks if we divide it by... Yeah, there's plenty of headroom if we divide it by plate rather than by large blocks. So a few things that I need to consider here. The first thing is like batteries, how to place them in a way that we can access all of them, but we don't waste too much space. So I do have batteries on... That's not a battery. I don't have batteries on my bar. Do I not? Yes, I do. There you go. Alright, what kind... Oh, Warfares. Warfares look best. Right, so... I think if we go... I'm not going to weld them up yet, because you lose a lot of resources if you screw that up. Right. Do it like that. And then we could put these like this. So that's 8 batteries straight away. So the batteries would be our main and instantaneous source of power, and we'll have a reactor, maybe solar panels and everything to keep these charged up. We're probably going to need a few more than 8, because there's going to be a lot of ions on this ship, and there's going to be a lot of other manufacturing facilities and stuff like that. So I probably want the power supply facilities to go over quite a much larger area. If we forego having a way out, we could essentially... Oh, actually, no, essentially what we could do is extend this out further. Yeah, because we've got a whole couple more decks for other stuff. Now, often I prefer to put batteries right slap bang in the center part of the ship for weight distribution, but I've got a feeling there's going to be plenty more heavy things around anyway, so how many batteries would be enough? I wonder. Maybe 16? It's probably around about the amount I had on the Meridian. We possibly had, yeah, probably about 16. So another 2, 3, 4. Two. If we do it like this and we fill in these ones, and so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1 at the end to make sure that we can carry on. Right. 9, 7 batteries. Okay, so this side faces this way. Oh no, don't want to go there. 9, 7. So this side faces this way. This side faces that way. Leave a space for access. 1. Are these all upside down? No. Okay.
Energy low.
Okay, ironically. 3, 4, 5. 20 batteries. 5, 10, 15, 20. That should be plenty. Right, now from here, from this room, we do have a way in to here, so all of this. I'm thinking potentially we lose that one. 7. And place 1 in. No, let's go with 19. 19's fine. I just want instant access to the center there. We need energy. Yeah, it's very different building this on foot. It does make it easier to conceptualize how we're going to access everything and not sort of end up building a weird sort of ship that you can't access the important stuff when it breaks. You know, that starts to become a very disposable ship. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is going to take a little while to weld up. So I guess we'll come back when we've done that. Okay, we have an alien raider drop pod on the way in. That surprised me a little bit. It's just about leaving now. Oh, I think we shot it down. Let's try to leave. That's going to be distracting from... I didn't get away from the ship quick enough, so any movement I made was going to literally draw attention to this ship with the bad guys, and they're going to try and shoot me. But like everything here is trying. Are these all dead? Well, that's a big waste of ammo, but I guess at least it works. I wish we could tell these to stop attacking these now. I'm guessing these alien raiders are all, these robot raiders are all dead now. Well, I guess we finished the job for it. Okay. What? Oh, for God's sake. Well, there basically goes all my ammunition anyway. Right, okay. Oh, for... What? What? What are you doing? Every time I decide to go, it's like... Oh, there's something else I can attack. There is nothing left. Stop it. Anything else? Okay. What? Something's seriously wrong here. Every time I turn my back, these guns decide to... Okay, we're just going to ignore it. Oh. Right, where were we up to? Oh, yeah. We're welding all these up. Still need power cells. We've gone through a lot of power cells, and I think the auto craftings, it was having a bit of trouble catching up, but hopefully that little hiatus should help. I've still got some flooring under these to weld up. I haven't been down yet, so we are seriously wasting ammo on all that. I could lower the range, but the problem is as soon as I raise the range again, it's just going to keep going, so I'm going to have to kind of let it. There's literally nothing left to shoot, and I'm going to end up running out of ammunition. I might have to go down there and deal with it manually.
Energy low.
Okay, I need energy anyway. I probably need health as well. Well, stuff is still blowing up. We're gonna have to go down there and deal with it. I can't have this thing constantly wasting my ammo. Right, just got to keep our eyes open for anything bad. I have to find a safe way down here. Could use my little car, but it's not far. Okay, we've got ricochets. I'm liking that. Right, so stuff like that that's shooting. I don't really want to get too close. What are you trying to kill? I don't have a lot of ammo myself, so I'm going to have to probably risk getting shot. That might be it. Right. That literally should be... Right. I know inventory's full, but like, the whole point of that was to just make sure there's nothing left with a computer in it that these can actually target. Oh, there's a ramp there. You could have just come up this way. Okay. We have to do some roof repairing at some point. I think that'll have to be like next time, potentially. Let's just put everything back. Might as well get the rest of my materials now. Oh, we've still got 2 batteries left to finish off here. Now, what I am thinking is we might need a way to maintain these batteries, like, autonomously. So what we may have to consider doing is in the floor above, possibly putting, because if we do a thin floor above these, we could possibly build in some sort of a welder system that can keep these maintained from above it. Should be able to do it without be able to. We should be capable of doing this without taking up a significant amount of space on the floor above and making it look cool at the same time. So it's something to do later. The reason why I haven't done that as a means to build these things is because I have to decide how and if we're going to do that yet. Yeah, no doubt there'll be a lot of things that I've done that could have been better. That's half the fun. I did promise, I mean, in Discord, mind, you know, I did promise a certain amount of silliness and nonsense. I think nonsense was the word. Well, hopefully I am delivering that in spades. Oh yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about, join our Discord. Yay, there we go. Now we have 19 fully welded batteries and a half welded floor. So we need to get downstairs, finish the floor off. Then those batteries won't be at risk of falling through. This is it's a bit twitchy. Oh, did that just shimmy to the side a little bit? That's a bit odd. It's possible that that could be causing a little bit of like issue, but yeah, we'll have to see what it's like. If in transit, in flight, it just gets a bit funny, we're gonna have no choice but to sort of make some corrections. I always end up having to make corrections to a final build anyway. No doubt there will be a bunch of things that I have to sort out after we think this is finished. But that's what shakedown cruises are for. Okay, I'm quite pleased with that. We've actually got a bit more of the back of the ship done. I know it's just a flat block with a bunch of batteries on it, but yeah, this is just one part of the plane. I mean, we've got all this side space to fill out, so you know, this is the bottom part of the ship. We can also put some additional armor and shaping along here. We also need to consider how we're going to put some thrusters on this ship, because we need to be able to take off. What I am keen on doing in this particular build is keeping the sort of center line of the ship reasonably thruster free, and having most of our thrusters kind of along the sides on some sort of almost like a nacelle or something on both sides. Because all my other builds, we've ended up with tons of thrusters down the middle of the ship and nowhere to put stuff later on. So yeah, things get a bit interesting. Right, okay, this is I think it's a good point to leave it. Our last episode was extremely long, so we're going to cut this one just a little bit shorter this time. That way I've got time to edit this thing and get this out to you a bit sooner than we did last time. I have a new hard drive. So last time, by the way, we were a little late getting this out because my old hard drive was crashing my computer when I plugged it in. I think something had fried on it and it was kind of working, but it was extremely slow to do transferring and very unreliable. So I've had to get a new one. So I've replaced my SSD so I can transfer my files over to my editing machine. Yes, I have a separate machine for editing because the thing that makes a gaming machine great is not necessarily the thing that makes an editing machine great. So we do them on separate devices. That way I can keep this machine purely gaming and stuffs. So anyway, I wish you a fantastic weekend and a great week. And we will catch you next time for another episode of No Jetpack Survival. Thank you everybody for watching, subscribing, liking, all of your comments as well. We do appreciate all of it. And we hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.